Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Forget Me Not Streamcast. I'm your host, Brian Prowitz, along with Pam Spetta, the founder, the energy, and the driving force behind Forget Me Not Village, which is a major project that is destined for the Douglas County area just outside of Roseburg that will literally, like we say, change the way we view and treat dementia. Pam, coming to us today on location in a brand new location that we've been talking about as the Forget Me Not Village system. The effort starts to really happen with a new location, a smaller version of the big thing that we're talking about. And I'm taking all your thunder again, Pam, as I just try to introduce you. But here we are again, and I know today is going to be a special Streamcast.
Yeah. So I am at our new home. It's called the Village Mini because, with COVID and everything, it's been a little difficult to fundraise. But I found a house here in Roseburg. Yes, it's the house that Greg owned. And I'm lucky that he's still here helping me with everything in this house. But as you can see behind me, we've got lots of power equipment and tools and wood and all kinds of good stuff here to make this project happen. We're going to have an open house. Of course, we're not going to be done by the open house on the 14th of this month, but you can get a really good idea what it's all about and what we're trying to do. Of course, it's got a gorgeous pool. They're going to have water aerobics. It's got a gym that we are affiliates for Rock Steady Boxing, which is for Parkinson's disease. YMCA was here yesterday, the Sandy Hendy that does this Parkinson's cycling class there. We're going to work together as far as helping people in the area with Parkinson's, which was pretty awesome. I've been out to Home Depot. Home Depot is going to help us out with a grant and some additional discounts on things that I need to get this house straight away. And Big Five has said they want to help us with the athletic equipment, and it's just been absolutely amazing what's gone on since our last broadcast.
Yeah, no doubt. Why don't you tell people about the plan for that building and what exactly you are working toward?
Well, the plan for the building is it's going to have two suites, where two families will be able to live together. And then as we accumulate a little more funds, I'll be able to actually build two more bedrooms in one of the shop areas out back. So we'll have a total of 4 families living here together, and we'll have all the activities. We'll have the healing qigong, the warrior yoga, the Parkinson's boxing, all kinds of activities here that are just, lifestyle changes, healthy eating, having a lot of fun. It's just an amazing idea that's really coming together really, really well.
So how many of the things that you just described are also what you planned on having and will have at the Forget Me Not Village?
I think if you compared the two, this is probably only 25% of what the new village, the one we're building down on 99, is going to be. That is going to be the end of all ends. It's going to be huge with a very, very large memory town that's going to take people with dementia back into their childhood living here in Roseburg. And, we'll have a barn and a vineyard and a movie theater and an ice cream parlor. And I mean, it's just going to be just the most amazing interactive village you ever want to see. We're going to work with telemedicine, which we'll do here as well, because we don't have access to a variety of different doctors that we need to have at our fingertips. And if you've got someone that's challenging, that doesn't move around well, you're going to limit the amount of time you're going to spend at the doctor where, like Rich's doctor was in Medford, and there was just no way he was going to get medical care, just none whatsoever, either one of us actually. So the telemedicine will give us access to physicians, eye doctors, counselors, whatever we need to do, we'll be able to do right here at this home. Not to mention the massage therapy that's going to be here as well. So like if you've got someone that has Parkinson's or dementia or brain injury, while they're working out in the gym, the care partner can have a swim, get a massage, take a class, do whatever they want to do. So pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Yeah, very cool. I know you've been working toward this for quite some time. And the best part here is the demand has been so high. I know you've talked a lot about hearing from people all the time who need somewhere to take their loved one, who they need the dementia care so badly. And now finally there's a place, at least for a couple of couples, to find all of the support that you've been talking about now all this time.
Right. Yeah. It's finally, and it was just purely by accident that I came across this house for sale. I've been looking for years, and, it popped up on Zillow, and I thought, I got to see this house. And then when I saw it, I go, I got to have it. I said, this is exactly what we need to get this thing started so people can see the concept. So some things that have happened since our last broadcast is I was contacted by Hoogway in Amsterdam a couple of days ago, and they have invited me to come to Amsterdam to view their village because they want to work with me to build my concept in Amsterdam. So tentatively, I will be going to Amsterdam at the end of September to work with them about getting my project going over there. In exchange, they're going to help me here.
Wow.
Yeah. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah. I mean, we've talked about the relationship there, but that's, that helps both. That's a big deal.
It is a big deal.
Right.
I mean, they treat dementia so totally different than we do. And I want to see for myself. I've got to touch it, smell it, see it, have it. I mean, these people are up and active up until days before they actually pass away. That's not what we see here, and a lot of our problem is we're just not exercising. They're not being socialized. They're not, they're being confined. There's family stress, the whole 9 yards. And they love what I'm doing, and they realize that they need that there because they have a lot of people that are suffering from dementia. The hardest part on their part is that the government has to change. The government subsidizes everything. So they have to give the blessing on the whole thing. So I'm hoping that while I'm there, they'll be able to see pictures of what I'm doing here and see how it actually works, people helping people. And, financially, psychologically, emotionally, physically, the whole 9 yards. Amazing.
Well, we're going to put your email up here quite a bit throughout this program today so people can reach out to you to find out more about how they can get involved in some of the different programs that you've described there today that your new memory care home in Roseburg allows for you to offer to the public, essentially,
right.
when it comes to dementia care. So on today's episode, we're going to be introduced to a very important couple. And also Pam's going to give us a little bit of a tour of the house as well. So I don't know which one of those things do you want to do first?
Well, they're finishing up on lunch. So, maybe in a couple of minutes, give them a little bit of time. Takes a while. But another thing that happened is I actually completed all the rock steady testing that I had to do, and I had to demonstrate my boxing skills.
Really? How did that go?
Wow, really well. Well, I told you I took up boxing when my kid was in high school because, I embarrassed the snots out of him because I'd work out in the gym that all of his buddies did. So it worked. I never had to hit him. I just embarrassed the kids out of him a lot. So I actually like boxing a lot. It is a great stress reliever. I mean, just to haul off and hit something, at least for a woman, my husband being the guy's kind of guy would always, when he got in a fight with somebody, he'd say, let's go out back and let's finish this argument. And I'm thinking, I could just go out back and just finish this argument. I'd be really happy. And I never could, because you get out back, what are you going to do,
Yeah, it's not really recommended as far as, like conflict resolution so much.
I know.
This day and age, It
was just a fun thing to think you could do. But when you're boxing, you can actually haul off and hit something as hard as you can. It's great for the muscles, great for bones, believe it or not. It helps keep them strong. So, there's so many things, the aerobic activity. You can actually box from a wheelchair. So it just, it's kind of exercise I like now at my age, since I turned 74 on Monday.
Yeah, happy birthday. Gosh darn it. You stole my little thunder there too. We were going to sing happy birthday collectively as a group here on the internet. But I think that would result in me singing by myself, which is not advisable. So happy birthday.
Yeah, the zip lining guys, as I'm coming into the last zip line, they stopped it, and everybody's saying happy birthday to me while I'm dangling off of the zip line. So
very dignified.
Yeah. It was a lot of fun. I really had a good time zip lining. That was fun.
Okay, so we need to back up just a little bit. So when you're talking about boxing, rock steady boxing, the benefits of Parkinson's, you'll notice, folks that are watching, she said it feels great to haul off and punch something, not someone. So this boxing that we're talking about with rock steady, you're either punching air or you're punching a target, like somebody holding like a big catcher's mitt, right?
Yeah. So you've got to envision that the bag is actually Parkinson's itself. So you're battling the Parkinson's disease with the bag, not a person.
Okay. Yeah.
That no contact stuff. That's a good thing for sure.
I just wanted to clarify that as well. It sort of felt like the legal team in my head was responding with, please clarify that she's not advocating for hitting people. Also, do not sing happy birthday on the internet because you will have a trademark violation and you will be shut down immediately. So all the legal stuff that's happening in my head right now. I'm hearing a lot of voices.
You know me, I don't want any legal stuff happening. No. You never want to hit anybody, but if you scare the crap out of them enough, you don't have a problem with them.
Again, spoken as only Pam Spetta can speak it. So you put this effort together to obtain this location because of how much need there is in the community. So why don't you tell us a little bit as we get ready to introduce our guest today, what that pressure is like how do you describe the messages you get from people, the demand you get from people, the requests you get from them, that even though only two couples can live in the house that you're in right now that you're about to expand, it's really the first step toward creating a space for people to begin healing and at least, be together, as you say, make life as good as possible right up to the end.
Right. And that's the thing, before it happened to me, I always thought that I understood what a caregiver was going through. But, when my friends would come in and my clients would come in and they would just be exhausted and I thought I understood, but not even close until it happened to me. Words can't describe the exhaustion, the frustration, everything that goes through your head, the fear, the finance, everything that goes through your head when you are a caregiver. It is awful. Absolutely. I had a daughter that passed away, and I used to think that was the worst thing in the world that could ever happen to me. And until I had to watch my husband, slowly slip away without me being able to help at all. And that truly was physically and mentally very, very, very difficult for me. And that's what drives this whole project. People are saying, you've got so much drive. It's like, no, it's not the drive. It's the necessity that keeps me going. I don't want anybody to have to go through that. It's not necessary. But why do we do it? We do it because we have to, because we want to, and because we love our spouses. And many, my husband was a fireman. He literally saved lives. He was a very brave and courageous man. And like the couple that is coming into the home, he was a state trooper. He put his life on the line every time he got in his car and he went out. And his wife was a registered nurse. She did the same thing. Look how hard she worked in the hospitals and this type of thing. And then to have this horrible disease afflict that family, if there's some way that I can help them go through that whole process and give them dignity and some love and some support, that's what I'm going to do. That's exactly what I'm going to do. So they're here when they get when they have a minute, I'll introduce them. But I'm really fortunate. I'm really fortunate that they're here. She's just been working her tail off to get this thing open so she can move in and get some sleep. For sure. So yeah, it's
So I'm curious about, and you'll show this to us when you kind of move around a little bit there, but essentially, we know you're in a house, so you're going to have a bedroom, you might have a bathroom off of it, and you have the kitchen, which I would assume would be kind of a common area. How does actually living in a place like this work when you may or may not know the other couple, or it's obviously as close to some sort of, safe, I was going to say communal living, and that doesn't quite feel right, although I guess by definition it would be. But talk about like day-to-day life in this scenario that you're setting up here, and the way that ends up helping the spouse and the patient.
Well, it helps because you're literally not alone. We've talked a lot about isolation and what COVID has done, but for us, the caregivers, we've been in isolation ever since the 24/7 care began. So, it's been difficult just because you can't interact with people. There's no one to sit and have a cup of coffee with in the morning and say, gee, we had a rough night, or I didn't get any sleep, that type of thing. So it's support for emotional support, physical support. A lot of times they fall and you're at home alone. And I can tell you, there was one time it took me 3 hours to get Rich off the floor because, when they fall, they're just dead weight. And I was alone and there was no way I could pick him up. So that plus the financial support, being a nonprofit, we're not out to set the world on fire and to pay a bunch of shareholders. We are here to help one another survive this financially devastating disease. So instead of paying like I was paying between my household and what Rich needed to have in the care home was $15,000 a month in cash. Now you may say, well, why didn't you have a long-term care policy? Well, no long-term care policy is going to pay that unless you pay a lot of money very early on in your life. And it financially, it makes no sense. So, we put $15,000 out every single month just to survive he had it for 12 years. So of those 12 years, probably at least 6 or 7 of them, we had an incredibly high expense, which, financially devastates you. It's just, and it's not necessary. If all you need is help, why not have it? For sure.
And in a previous life, Pam was a financial advisor as well. So if there was somebody who could have anticipated and set something up like this for her family, it would have been Pam. But that's a difficult thing to prepare for, I guess, would be one way to put it. So we want to find out more about the couple that you want to talk about, or show us around a little bit, which let's see.
Come on around. Come on, they're coming.
And as always, you can post questions or comments in the chat. We're on Facebook and YouTube. Don't forget, also, you can email Pam later if you have questions for her or want to reach out to her, pam@forgetmenotVillage.org. If you're interested in rock steady boxing, finding out more about Pam and the work that she's done, her credentials, all of that kind of thing. Or, of course, if you want to donate. And at forgetmenotVillage.org, you can see a video that tells the entire story of Pam and Rich Spetta, what motivates Pam, why she's doing this, what the plans are for the Forget Me Not Village care home itself. And that really is the heart and soul of everything that we are talking about here.
So this good-looking man, his name is Dennis Carr. Yeah. He was a state trooper for how many years?
27.
27 years. This man protected us up here in Oregon from Astoria, Sutherland, Roseburg. You were a lieutenant, right? Yeah, he was a lieutenant. And this is his beautiful wife. This is Debbie. She has been my right-hand woman. She's just been a little dynamo in here. Oh my gosh. The cleaning and refinishing the cabinets and doing all kinds of things to make this house look like a home. Yeah, it looks better, really.
Always you.
Yeah, yeah. And they're an example of young onset. You know, how long has Dennis?
We've been diagnosed 3.5 years, and as a nurse, I knew there was something wrong for 2 years.
So about 6 years, he's had symptoms, and you're still in your 60s, right? Yeah, you just turned 69, so you're looking at 63, 64 with the onset of these, and you know, for you too. You're younger than that, though, right?
I'm 63 now.
Yeah, 63. So
when
she
I was his age. I mean, when he was my age, he was already
right. Yeah, yeah, and that's the thing people don't understand. They think, you know, dementia is only for older people. Well, no, this home is for people just like them, just like I was. I was 59 and still working. You know, that presents a problem right there. You know, if you're still working and you're trying to support your family and you don't have a big hefty pension coming in, what are you going to do? So this home is great because we're going to have a lot of activities, things they can do, honor him for all the work he did in his lifetime, and for his wife and her commitment. You've been married how many years?
39.
39 years. I was married 45, you know? So, you know, I think this is the way it's supposed to be. It's the way it's supposed to be.
We tried the alternate caregiving, where Dennis was in a home for people with dementia, and he got injured there on the 4th day. One of the clients took their nails to both sides of his neck and just left 4 fingerprints, 4 trails on both sides. And Dennis had defensive wounds on the backs of his hands where he was trying to get the person's fingers off of his neck. And I got a phone call and I said, that's not going to be working for us. We need to get him out of there. And we moved him out that night.
So the difference is when you're here with your spouse, it's one-on-one. There's somebody with them all the time. No matter where they go or what they do, they're never alone. So my training teaches them when there's behaviors, and there are going to be behaviors because of what's going on with the brain and the brain actually dying, the confusion causes some behavior problems. So my training teaches them what to look for and how to keep that from happening, because there were definitely signs that something was coming on between this individual that harmed him and Dennis. So that doesn't have to be the case, but you can't get one-on-one when you've got one caregiver to 7 or 1 to 14. There's just absolutely no way. And these individuals, they need 24/7 care. They need someone there to be by their side all the time, at least within, you know, sight. Let's put it that way. So like if you're relaxing by the pool, you know where they are and what they're doing. So the house itself is built as safe as possible. So there's no stairs. We have ramps in areas where there's a different grade, like in the back. You know, there won't be things in the cupboard that are breakable. There won't be, you know, knives sitting around, that kind of stuff. So it's going to be a safe house. So if he does walk around, you don't have to worry about him getting out and walking out in the street or falling down the stairs or any one of a number of things that happen for people trying to care for someone at home. And that in itself is stressful because then you never get to sit and, you know, which is all you got me. They go, don't forget to take care of yourself. And you go, yeah, at which time do you lay in the bathtub with the bubbles while they're out walking around in the house, you know, putting a screwdriver in the, you know, just doesn't work. So we are attempting to change that. We are making it better for families. And between this and what I'll learn in Amsterdam, they still play bingo. They still go bike riding. They still do things with someone that is severe dementia, which means you're way on the other end of dementia. And that drastic difference between the way we care for someone and they care for someone is so huge that, you know, I'm going to go and accept their invitation to come and help them with what I'm doing there. And then I'm bringing back what they've learned and their skills back here. Because we're all the same. I've been told, well, Amsterdam is different. Well, no, they're not different. We're still people. We're still families. We still love one another. We still need care. There is no difference in that respect. So what I'm going to do is I'm bringing that back, and we are going to give Dennis the respect that he deserves for what he did for us, for his life. And, everyone's life is significant, not just Dennis's, but everyone deserves to have the quality, to have the care, to have the love, to have a relationship with the spouse and the family. So that's it in a nutshell, kind of.
Mm. Wow. It's a pretty amazing story and testimony and example of exactly very similar, isn't it, Pam, to what you experienced? I mean, it's almost eerie, isn't it?
It is. It really is, and my kids, when they met Dennis, they said, my gosh, he reminds me so much of Dad. And I said the same thing because I went over and I helped her so she could get a little break. And I sat there and I go, oh my gosh, he is just like Rich. And it was really fun for me because, I understand the disease now, which is different than when I started with Rich. But it sure makes a difference. It sure makes a difference.
Well, and I can even see right now, just having you there, if you want a break, then there's somebody there that you can trust that can take care of and watch over, and that extra set of hands and that little break. And Pam, in your story, I mean, you literally were so trapped you couldn't even go to the hospital when you had a heart attack. That's the indication that the system is just not working in most cases. So I'm sure it must feel pretty good to be able to know that you're able to give back and keep what's happened to you from happening to others.
Yeah, it's I'm still kind of in deja vu kind of thing. When you have a concept and an idea that you believe in so much, and to actually see that it's going to happen. It is going to be here. We are going to do all these things that I have only been dreaming about. People are going to see the results and the difference, not only in the care home, but also in Parkinson's, in our boxing, in the activities, in the fun we have, where, they'll be able to bring their grandkids here and they can spend the day swimming in the pool and just having fun, enjoying life and being together as a family and keeping that unit together instead of taking them apart and spreading them apart like happens so much of the time.
Yeah.
So much of the time.
Yeah. Looking forward to the open house. I know that you said that there's a lot of work that probably isn't going to quite be done for the open house, but August 14th, right?
Volunteers. We can use volunteers for sure. But, so if you have it in your heart that you want to paint or help us build a fence or help us build a wall or install a bathroom, hey, we're ready. We're ready. And we did some UCC students. Some nursing students that came here and did their volunteer hours for me, and they pulled staples off of the floor. So, yeah, and I'm real happy that UCC is helping me with this project as far as using this for rotations for students. So that I will be able to teach them how to handle, people that do have dementia or brain injury or Parkinson's. So, yeah, it's going to be pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, our good friend Beryl McClellan popped in to say there must be dignity. And isn't that the truth? The dignity that comes with having some care that is much more personal and pays attention to individual needs like you were talking about.
Absolutely. To me, that's simple. It's simple. And the dignity and keeping the family together is so important, especially at this time. Like I said, it was the hardest thing I'd ever done in life. And like I said, I lost a daughter. She was only 32 when she had a double stroke in the base of the brain and developed locked-in syndrome. And, I thought that agony of watching what happened with her was the worst thing any parent could possibly happen. But, I have to say, watching someone that you've been married to for 40, 45 years just waste away without me being able to control anything was worse. It truly was worse.
Well, our show is coming to an end. I know you wanted to show the place off a little bit, but it may have to wait until it's a little more polished, I guess, huh?
I guess. Someone's got to be more polished. I don't know if it's you or me, but one of us has got to be polished.
Well, thank you for coming on the show today. And I know, Pam, you're very excited about having the first couple that you're able to help through this process happening right here, you know?
Yeah. It's so needed. And I've had 3 other couples that were scheduled to come in here along with Debbie and Dennis. All 3 of them passed away in the last 4 weeks.
Oh my.
It's just like, wow, you know. Wow. And one of them, I do believe, could have been prevented. I think. But,
yeah, well, that's the urgency, isn't it? I mean,
yes.
Well, Debbie, real quick here before we go, can you just talk about the support Pam has given you and the fact that you're in this place right now? And I don't know if you're permanently there or you were just visiting today to do some work or whatever, but
I'm an unpaid, unofficial worker.
Nice. Volunteer, right? It's almost a Habitat for Humanity situation for you.
No,
but
because I have a loved one who's already experienced the other side of our culture, going into a dementia care center, getting 0 care. I know there has to be a better way to take care of our loved ones.
Yeah.
And Pam is really valuable because of that.
Yeah. Wow. All right. Well, thank you again and welcome. And here's to a spectacular experience for both of you at this critical time. And I know that Pam is honored to have that role, and I'm sure we'll see others that benefit from this whole concept the way that that Pam has set it up. So this is what Forget Me Not Village is all about.
We can't wait to move in.
I know she's working like crazy to get it all done. It's like, oh my gosh.
Great. Well, Pam, any final thoughts on the show today?
No, I mean, this is just awesome. We're moving around the Rocksteady thing and the YMCA and Amsterdam, and
It's busy.
Everything that's going on has just been so absolutely over the top amazing. I just don't know how to explain it. I mean, the people in this town are absolutely fantastic. They're really, really are. They're amazing people. And I'm fortunate to live in such a community where they do care about each other a lot. You know, and when I ask people if I need help or I need something, you know, they're usually right there. And how much better can you get than that? For sure.
All right. Well, we'll end on that note. Debbie and Dennis, it was nice to meet you. For those of you who are out there watching on Facebook and YouTube, and Beryl says she'll be there tomorrow, by the way, to work. Yeah. So here it is, folks. There it is. Proof, visual proof. You're on the hook now, Beryl. So I hope you're ready. But
we have a room opening now because, like I said, 3 of them have passed away in the last 3 weeks. So if someone is interested, would like to inquire about how to do it or what it is, be my guest. Contact me. Send me an email. Let's talk.
Okay. That's great. And if you're watching this today, we have about 140 people or so that are watching this or that are attached to this Facebook page. And it would be really great if you would share and invite people to the Facebook page that you're watching right now. If you're watching this on YouTube, share the link to some people, some friends out there, and let's see if we can't spread the word a little bit more and continue to grow this network of people in our community. So if you do that, if you want to do a little bit, that'd be something that would help this entire cause. And so that more people like Debbie and Dennis can benefit from the work that Pam has put in. So, okay, well, that's our time for today. Debbie and Dennis, I hope you have a good afternoon and a good weekend. And Pam, we'll see you again in a couple of weeks. And usually we end the show with a bit of a description of what your next 2 weeks are going to be like. But I don't think we need that description today. I think it's very clear what your next 2 weeks are going to be like.
Yeah, I'll be doing more studying and more tests, from the state for adult foster home kind of stuff. So, yeah, I've already been through what they said was 6 hours. It really turned out to be about 30. But yeah, just start my day out with a test. What the heck?
All right. Well, that's it for today's program. We'll be back again in a couple of weeks. The first and third Thursdays of the month are Streamcast days for Forget Me Not Village. Again, share, like, invite people to grow the network here at Forget Me Not. And thank you for that support. Debbie, Dennis, and Pam, have a great day. And we'll talk to you again in a couple of weeks on the Forget Me Not Village Streamcast.
Okie dokie. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.